we're gonna do is rooster identification. And there is about 4 things you can look for in young roosters. So one is the obvious cock-a-doodle-doo. If you can hear it and you actually can see a rooster do that, that is great. But when you got, when you're dealing with a huge flock, some of the roosters don't say anything because they let the more dominant rooster do the cock-a-doodle-doo. So that's not always a given. And all roosters may not show all these 4 things because of different breeds. Some breeds have bigger combs, some breeds have no combs as a rooster. So look for the clues, okay? So the first one is a cock-a-doodle-doo. The next one is comb size. Some roosters have huge combs and huge waddles at the bottom. These here, right here. Some have huge combs. Now this one has a small one. He's going to be our show here. So some have big, and I'm going to show you a rooster with a huge comb. His face right here, if you didn't look at any of his feathers, his face looks like a hen, okay? But he's actually a rooster. Now, how do we know that? So let's take a look a little closer at feathers. So if you take a look at these here. These are called saddleback feathers, right here. Okay, you see how they lay down? All roosters will have this. They'll have their feathers nicely here, but they'll have this characteristic saddleback of these loose falling down feathers. The other thing is their tail. They will have one longer tail feather on average. Now some roosters don't, but this one has a very little one. And I'm going to show you this because this one's a tricky one to identify as a rooster because he only has a very small tail feather. A lot of times roosters will have 2 long tail feathers that will actually crisscross, and I'm going to show you that on a few. So I'm going to show you a few because we have about 12 breeds mixed together. So our roosters come in so many different shapes and sizes, but these are the characteristics we're looking for. We're looking for a saddleback. We're looking for a longer tipped feather. We're looking for a huge comb. Now this one doesn't have it, so we're looking more at the feathers. And we're looking for a cock-a-doodle-doo. So those are some things. We're gonna put him onto the side that we are going to segregate, and then we are going to start catching some other roosters. We're gonna go through what other roosters look like, okay, with different kind of breeds, so you get a broad perspective on how to identify roosters. Okay, you guys, so we are in our chicken house. Now our chicken house can be separated into 2 sections. So we have all our chickens on this side, and we have a board right here that we can take off and on. Normally we have this coop opened right up, but right now when we're butchering, we actually put all the males or roosters onto this side. So during the day they have this run. Now they are given water right here, but we do not give them food for the day because we don't want their crops full of food. They can scratch around. I'm sure there's little seeds here. They're not going to starve, but you always feed them water. So what we're going to do is go to the other side. We're going to catch, look at who's a roo, who is a hen, and I'll show you how to do that quickly again with all the different breeds. And we're going to open up this door and put all the roos on this side. And when I say roos, that means roosters. Okay, my team, are you ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to catch a rooster one by one to demonstrate, to show everyone the different comb sizes and everything. So let's go. When you go in, make sure that we are not moving quickly. One reason is so we don't create just chaos with all these birds. So let's go in.
Okay.
Okay, so as you can see, we have the light on in the house right now, but we got guineas, we have Hens, we've got all this stuff. So let's stop moving around so I can get some good footage here. So take a look at this guy, you guys. This guy is a roux. You see the saddleback feathers. The comb is slight, but he has big saddleback feathers, and he has hardly any tail feathers, but he is definitely a roux. Is there a big rooster?
There's a huge one right here, right?
Okay.
Walking away.
Okay, let's
has a
stop.
huge comb.
Okay, so here's also a roux. This guy right here. Look at the size of his comb. One huge identification mark. Again, he has that one tail feather right there poking up, and he has a saddleback, and they're a little bit harder to tell because they are black, and he's mostly black, but he's another big roux.
Here's one with a little comb, but much tail feathers right here. There's one with a little
There you go.
lot of tail
Thank you guys. So there's another roux. You see the back tail feathers? Those are huge on him. Right there. Okay, so right there is his tail feathers. He's got a half decent comb, so I would say a medium-sized comb, and he has the typical saddleback. So he's another roux. Okay, what else can we go
There's a
here?
roux right in the corner there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big comb.
They're kind of squishing away, going, oh my goodness, what are they doing? That's a roux in the back there. He has a pretty big comb. Again, not massive back tail feathers, but he has the saddleback there. So let's take a look at a hen for a moment. See if we got a good identity. There's a good hen. You notice that she doesn't have much comb, and you notice no saddleback feathers, and the back tail feathers are just straight up. So that is definitely a hen. Let's see, we got some more examples of hens here. That one up there, she's a hen. This one, where are we here? This one right here, she's a beautiful hen.
This one is
Okay. Yeah. So she's a hen. You notice no point where the saddleback feathers would be, alright? There's no saddleback feathers. There's nothing going down. It's just, okay? All these here are hens. Okay, you guys, this one here is a rooster right here too. You notice that they have the drooping, he has the drooping feathers right there. Alright, so take a look at this guy. He has what we call a massive comb. So that is a dead giveaway. He is a rooster. The other thing, Ocean, can you, I know he's a bit feisty, this guy. Can we see his tail feathers? I don't want him to get pecked. So you guys watch your faces when you're dealing with birds. Okay, he has a huge plume here. He's got a bit of a loose tail feather here. That's another giveaway. Plus, take a look at those saddleback feathers right here. Okay, you can see them drooping. So he's a nice big rooster. Okay, so here's another rooster. This is a white one. Remember, I've got all different breeds. Come on, get a focus. He has a very interesting comb, this particular breed. He's got a small waddle, a smaller comb, but look at those feathers. This is your giveaway right here. He's got drooping feathers. He has a slight saddleback, and it's a bit harder to tell because he's white, but he's definitely a roux. Let's look at this white roux right here that Ocean's got again. This roux has a bit of a smaller comb, but again, typical drooping these back feathers. And I don't know if we can see a saddleback as great here because of how you're holding, but again, he has one of those characteristics. Okay, so let's look at our roux. And just an overview here, just so you get one more look. These are all our roux. Okay, so these two are in the goat pen, and these are actually different roos from a different farm, and they are going to be, one of them is going to be one of our new roos, because I like to keep genetics very, very diverse. We always have a new unrelated roo come in. So look at his tail feathers. There is no denying that that is a roo, and he's the one going to be kept. I also have another roo coming from a friend of ours, and possibly a third roo, depending on how many hens we have. Now he's got huge back feathers. He's a good looking boy. This one here, we got two from the same, and I got them to scratch up the goat pen for over the summer to keep the bugs down and to keep things clean. They kind of do a really good, I mean, they eat insects a lot, so they're perfect for making sure the goat pen, this is the winter goat pen, stays bug free. But this guy right here, he's going to be on the chopping block, because I don't want, these two are a tag team, and if you got a tag team and let's say I need 3 roosters, then they're going to work as a team and kill the third rooster. So only want to keep one of them. And unfortunately for him, he's going to go and make a wonderful soup in my stock pot. So that's just another example of, let's say, a roo with huge back feathers. This guy definitely takes the cake.